Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Second Up in Books. So my name is Yari and today's video is going to be a book versus movie of Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. So last night I finally finished rereading Can You Keep a Secret, and then I watched the movie, which right now it's out in select theaters, and if it's not in the theater nearby, it's also on iTunes already, so you could rent it or buy it. I rented it because I don't know if I was gonna like the movie, so I rented it. And I'll start off by saying that I felt that this was a really good movie adaptation of this book. So I have my notes here. I felt that the movie kept a lot of what happened in the book, and the things that they took out I felt made sense, because obviously they can't like keep every single scene that happens in the book in the movie, because then it'll be like a million hours long. So they obviously had to take some things out and, you know, and change a few things. So I felt like the changes that they made sense of why they did that, and I felt that the things that they kept were like the things that they should have kept, if that makes sense. What I really liked is that they kept pretty much all of her secrets that she tells Jack in the book. They kept most of those secrets. Also, if you don't know Can You Keep a Secret, it's about this girl named Emma and this guy named Jack. So Emma, she is on her way back home from a work trip. She had a meeting and it didn't go according to plan. And then she has to get back on the plane to go back home, but the thing is that she is terrified of flying. And then on this flight, they end up hitting a lot of turbulence, and then she starts freaking out. So she starts spilling all of her deepest, darkest secrets to this random guy sitting next to her. Turns out the next day that when she goes to work, turns out that the random guy she spilled all her secrets to is actually the CEO of her company that she works for. So things get complicated because she literally just told her boss all of her like deepest, darkest secrets. So yeah, that's like a short little like synopsis of what the book's about. But yeah, so they kept most of her secrets, even like the smallest little secrets they kept, and there were just like small details that they left or like they put in the movie that was like yes, that's a nod to the book. Some of the things that they changed up was, one, the name of the company she worked for. So in the movie, the name of the company she works for is called Panda, and then in the book it's Panther. I think it's Panther. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the book it's Panther, and then in the movie it's Panda. So that's one of the differences. Also, they changed the personality of Emma's like boyfriend that she has in the beginning of the book. So in the book he seems, I don't know, he seems rather normal in the book, and then in the movie he seemed kind of like strange, like he did some weird things. Yeah, so they changed like his character. Yeah, they made him a little bit strange. Also, like I've said in my other videos of Can You Keep a Secret, is that the book is set in the UK, and then in the movie it's in New York. So that's a major difference, but I felt like that was gonna completely change the whole like aspect or like the whole feel of the book, but it actually didn't, because I felt like because they kept a lot of what actually happened in the book, it didn't take away from the fact that they changed locations. Because with Confessions of a Shopaholic, they did the same thing where in Confessions of a Shopaholic it's set in the UK, and then the movie it was in New York. But with that book to movie adaptation, they changed a lot of the book. It was pretty much, they only kept like they pretty much only kept character names and the fact that she's a shopaholic. It's mainly the biggest things that they kept from the book. They completely changed it. So I felt like that was gonna happen with this, but so yeah, so I felt like that them changing the location was gonna completely change the whole feel of the book, but it didn't, because again, like I said, they kept a lot of what happened in the book in the movie. One of the also things I really enjoyed was the fact that her, like the person her boss, the person that she like responds to, I guess, Sybil. I didn't really like Sybil in the book. I think Sybil is a guy in the book, and in the movie is, yeah, and then in the movie Sybil is a female. But I don't like Sybil in the book. I'm pretty sure it was a guy in the book. I found him really annoying, and like he wasn't like, I feel like he treated Emma really badly. But then in the movie, Sybil was just, she didn't really treat her bad. It was just her personality. Like she treated everyone pretty much the same way. Just, I don't know how to describe it, but she had like a big personality, and Sybil, I mean, and she just wasn't like, you know, like, how do I describe it? Like she wasn't, like she isn't like the type of manager where it's like, oh, it's okay, it's all right, we could like very like encouraging. She's encouraging, but in like a harder way, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I did like that they made her more likable in the movie. Yeah, so I thought that this was a really good movie adaptation, and if you are nervous to watch the movie because you feel like it's not gonna be a good adaptation because of the trailer, because the trailer did make it seem like they changed a lot of it, I can tell you guys they kept a lot, because I just finished rereading the book. They kept a lot. There were only like small, like the main, one of the other bigger things that they changed was the whole family aspect, because in the book her family is a really big part of the book. That's the biggest, I feel like that's the biggest thing that they took out of the book. They mentioned her grandfather once, like once or twice in the book, I mean the movie, and if you read the book, you know that her grandfather and her family is a really like major plot point in the book as well. So yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing they changed, besides the location obviously. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna say, that it's like spoiler free of the movie. Now I'm gonna go a bit into just a little bit of like spoilery things that I want to talk about. So yeah, so if you haven't watched the movie or read the book, you can leave the video now, and I'll catch you guys here next time in 10 11 books. And if you want to know more of like my spoilery thoughts, keep watching. So one of the small little things that I really enjoy that they kept in the movie is, which honestly I didn't even notice that she did in the book, that Emma wears, like she sometimes wears a flower in her hair, and I didn't even realize that until in the book, until Jack mentions it, like when he's doing his interview, and he says that that she wears a flower in her hair, and I didn't even notice that. But then in the movie I noticed it before that scene happened where he's doing his interview and he says it, and it wasn't even like the same day. It was like earlier in the movie where I noticed she had a flower in her hair, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's wearing a flower in her hair. So I like that little detail. Also, when Jack goes into her room to when she's still getting ready for the date, which is exactly what happened in the book, she's not ready yet, so then he goes into her room while she finishes getting ready. He doesn't mention it in the book. He does mention it, but in the movie he doesn't, but you could actually see it, which is the workout calendar that she has like taped up to her wall. So yeah, in the book he mentions it. He's like, oh, you actually do all of this? She's like, not really. But in the movie he doesn't mention it, but you can see it on her wall, and I'm like, oh, that's the workout calendar. Also, what I liked is that one of the other like things that like plot lines is happening in the book is the fact that Emma really wants a promotion, and she keeps getting like, they keep bypassing her for promotion. They're like, no, you're not ready, you're not ready. Yeah, and they're not giving her the promotion. She like desperately wants a promotion because she's like gone through all these different like career changes. And in the ad, in the book, in the ad that she responded to for the job, it said that she could get a promotion after a year, and it's been a year and she really wants this promotion. So they don't mention it that much in the movie, but then eventually when what's his name, Nick, decides to take credit for the fact that for the taking out the Panda Bites ad in, what was the Bowler's Weekly magazine, he was trying to take credit for it because Sybil was like, oh, it actually did great, and our numbers are up. He was trying to take credit for it, and she was like, no, that was all me. And that's when in the movie she mentions like, oh, can I get a promotion? And then she like states like 1, 2, 3, 4, like I did this, I did that, and that, whatever. And she's like, I feel like I deserve it, and I feel like I've done more than enough to prove that I deserve this promotion. So I like that they kept that aspect, and that she asked for this promotion. I also liked, like, even like, I'm telling you, they kept even like small details of the book, like the Leopold folder, which is the code that Jack and, what was his name, Luke? Jack, which the Leopold folder is Jack and the guy that he created the company with, their code for let's like ditch out of work for a little bit, which he told Emma this because Emma told him that her and her friend have a code when her friend comes over and says like, oh, we need to go over the numbers, it really means you want to go get coffee. So then when he wants to ask her to go to his office, he's like, oh, bring the Leopold folder. When the book, I think it's an email he sent her, like, bring the Leopold folder. In the book, I mean in the movie, Sybil says like, oh, he wants to bring the Leopold folder, and she like literally creates a Leopold folder just in case. So I like that little, like, they kept that. They also, which is like a side thing, and it's not even Emma, they kept the fact that her roommate Lizzie, she's a lawyer, and that she like started this little like dance group with other lawyers. So I like that they kept that. Also, major thing that they kept was Jack's secrets, because both in the movie and the book, he's like keeping a lot from her, and he's like keeping this really big secret from her. And for some reason, I thought we were gonna change what the secret was, but they actually kept it exactly the same, which, since it's the spoiler part, I could say it, which is the fact that I keep forgetting his name, the guy he started the company with, he had a daughter, and that they're trying to keep her out of the spotlight, and that's like his big secret. So I like that they kept the secret the same. Also, let's talk about the trailer a little bit. When I first watched the trailer, I felt like I don't remember any of this, so I thought that they changed a lot of it. Turns out they kept pretty much everything, at least a good chunk of the book. And like, one of the things I thought that there was new to the movie versus the book was when she's talking to Jack on the phone. She's really upset with him, and it's after he's done the interview, and he says like all her secrets, and everybody knows like that's Emma. And she's like, I don't want to hear you, I don't want to see you. And then the other roommate is like, I don't want to taste you. I thought that they added that on to the movie, but actually that exact line is in the book. And I was like, what? I honestly read this book for the first time years ago, so I didn't remember pretty much anything of what happened in the book. So I literally thought that was new to the movie, But when I was reading the book, I was like, oh, that line is actually in the book. Also, one like small detail that they kept was, well, first off, her work best friend in the book is a female, and then in the movie it's a guy. But what they kept the same was the fact that her work best friend is like, she ends up in the book, she ends up like breaking, were they together? I think she like ends up breaking up with this guy because, or like they went on one, oh yeah, she I think they broke up, and then she was like, oh, it should have been a sign, because he like had her come over to like fix his toilet or something, and then she was like, oh, yeah, I should have probably seen that as a sign that he wasn't really interested when he asked me on the first date if I had like plumbing experience. It was something like that. And then in the movie, when she's like walking to work with her friend, which in this case the guy, he mentions that on the first day, the girl asked him if he had like plumbing experience, and that she had him fix the toilet. It was something like that. It wasn't the toilet, it was something else. But yeah, I like literally they kept like little small details that happened in the book, and I really like that even like small details they kept in the movie. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop talking now. I've been talking for a while, but yeah, so I would say give this movie a try. It's like, I think it's like $6.99 to rent on iTunes, so yeah, so check it out on there. So yeah, like I said before, I feel like this is a really good book to movie adaptation. I think they did a really great job at keeping the essence and the major plot points, even small details of the book, into the movie. I think they did a great job, and I hope that they make more Sophie Kinsella books into movies. So if you like this video, please give it a like so I can know what kind of videos I should post here on Tangled Living Books. And like always, all of our social media links will linked down below in the description box, so you can follow us on there. Also, don't forget to subscribe to become a member of our little family here on Tangled Living Books. And I'm gonna catch you guys here next time. Bye!